let's get it going. What's up? It's another moment in the present. So that's all there is. The one moment, the present of see, it's been a while since I've done one of these. I would like to stop recording and start it over, but I don't need to. Doesn't really matter. I don't have a ton of time right now, because I gotta get on a bus to meet Jewel. Then we got some plans, because she's at work right now. Well, a little bit of school, a little bit of work. She works at the college, so it works out that way. It's pretty easy. So I'm gonna catch a bus, meet her there. We're gonna get some food, and we're gonna do some grocery shopping and shit like that. But that being said, like I said, I haven't done one of these in a minute, and I've been missing it. I feel like I have had a decent amount of I feel like I do have a decent amount of shit on my mind at the moment, just in terms of like life, money, being woke or awoken, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like, I don't know, just seeing the world for how it is instead of what I want it to be, right? And it's like, F sakes. What's the saying? Don't hate the player, hate the game, you know? I feel like I might repeat that a few times in this podcast just because that's how I've been feeling. I don't necessarily hate people, I don't hate the players, but when they try and advocate for the game or they try to say like, oh, it's not that bad, then, it cheeses me, you know? It upsets me, but I'm not necessarily upset at the people. It's one of those like, yeah, I know that is how it is, and it fucking pissed me off, so let's do something to change it, right? Because, what is it? If you don't want to put that time and energy into making the change or, like, being part of the change, shit ain't gonna happen, you know what I mean? And it's just, it's so annoying, just the amount of shit I have saved on Instagram of all these people that are, like, exposing information and behind the scenes shit of just like whatever you want to talk about. Like, politics are stupid, it's all like lobbied and like, okay, fuck, I'm all over the place because I got so much shit on my mind. But like, just the idea of a government, it's supposed to be publicly funded for the people. Chances are now they barely get a fraction of the money from the actual public, and it's more from outside sources, from companies, from other countries, whoever the fuck, like even just individuals wanting their certain interests shown or represented, whatever the fuck it is. But then it's all just like, when you have the money, you can do whatever you want. Like, the justice system is a joke. If you have money, you just pay for the best lawyer. You basically paid to get out of jail free card, you know what I mean? And it's between like that and like, do we really have the freedom to do what we want to do? And the idea of like, how much is your time and your life worth, because we trade our whole lives away for like a wage and then a pension just so our retirement is good. But it's like, really, you want to trade like 50, 60, 70 years of your life just to get to the last little bit and be like, okay, now I'll finally like calm down and I can enjoy it? It's like, no, what the fuck? You just missed the prime years of your life. And life isn't that long, man. Like, people say, yeah, if you live in the present moment can feel long, but I can get a lot of shit done while being present, and then get to the end of the day while still being present and be like, oh yeah, I did a lot today, but now it's the end of another day, and the time just keeps going. Like, the clock just keeps rolling, and the big wheel keeps on rolling. Sorry. Brain's all over the place. But yeah, man, it sucks when you see it, and then even just trying to talk to other people about this stuff. Like, so many people, they get bored, they don't care, they don't want to look at it because ignorance is bliss. It's like, I would rather not feel blissful in exchange for not being ignorant. You know what I mean? God damn, someone's peeling out of there. Just heard some tires squealing. And I'm sure that fucks up the flow of... It fucks up the flow of my thoughts. I'm sorry for the video and the podcast and anybody listening right now, but it also kind of fucks up my flow and my thoughts just because shit is kind of loud. what was I saying? Just like I was just talking to a buddy that was trying to explain like his definition of the difference between rich and wealthy, and he was saying like, oh, you can be rich, have enough to pay your bills, and like you can do what you want to in life, but then if you're wealthy, then you don't have to worry about anything. You got no worries, no second thoughts. You can literally do whatever you want, and it's like, okay, but like who really has the freedom to do whatever they want to do? You know what I mean? It's like it's only the people with money, or the people once you get to a certain level. But if you're not at that level, if you don't have the same opportunities as others, or you know, like you can't figure out how to make it work. Because sometimes I feel like sometimes people have that passion and that drive, but they just keep getting snubbed, or they keep hitting dead ends, and they just don't know where to go, to the point where it becomes demoralizing. And it's like, well, why keep trying when the outcome is just fucking getting shafted every time? You know what I mean? And that's like, it helps to have the determination and the drive to push through, but fuck, sometimes it just feels like shit. And I feel that way with my art and my music, how it doesn't get traction, but I want to keep doing it because I am super passionate about it. I'm passionate about it for myself, really. And then once it's out there, other people get to see it and have a reaction to it, but then it's theirs, you know? I made it for me, I made it, it's out there, now it's yours, whatever. It goes the same for, like, passions, like art, for school, for work, no matter what it is, like, man, even working at Loblaws there, I was working there for a year, got to the point where it was like, okay, I'm working a lot of hours, still making minimum wage, can't do overtime, so I can't make more than 40 hours. I can't work more than 40 hours a week and then make extra money. No way to move up positions because all the managers were locked in and it's seniority based and all this shit, and I was there for a year, so I'm going, okay, so where's my incentive to stay? Where's my incentive to move up in the company? They don't incentivize you to do that because they want you to be slaves to the wage, man. Like, even... Bro, workers, managers, like store owners even, if you're a franchise, you're all slaves to the wage, to the same fucking people, but we don't want to open our eyes and go like, oh yeah, it's the people at the top that are the problem, not the other people on our level, people just above us, the people, you know what I mean? It's these people that, like, they have the bird's eye view of everything, and now they're making their moves like chess, but we're the fucking pawns, man. Like, it just... And that it sucks the most for people like me, or how people who relate to how I feel right now, because I know I'm a king. I know I'm fucking... I was telling that same bro I was talking to about the rich and wealthy shit, I said, bro, my time, I'm worth $5,000 an hour to $15,000 an hour at this point. That's how I feel, because I can work my fucking ass off. I can pick up other people's slack with music. I learned how to do it myself, and I'm being consistent with it, and I can draw multiple projects a year. Like, I got that drive for it, so I feel like I should get paid for it. Then you look at someone like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, it's like, how much are they getting paid an hour? We tried doing the math. Bro, at minimum, they're getting $15,000 an hour. It could be upwards of like $50K, $100K, $500,000 an hour, bro, to make this much, like, capital at the end of the day with their net worth and all this shit. Like, obviously a lot of it is in stocks, and like it's based on how much they sell or how much product they move, whatever the fuck. But it's still, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, break it down, cold hard facts, how much are they making per hour off the backs of the motherfuckers that are making 10 to 20 bucks an hour, like somewhere in that range. I don't know what minimum wage is around y'all. Right now it's 16 here. I keep telling people, bro, drop that shit to 5, split it in thirds, split it to a third of what it is, and give, instead of us making more money, put that into the value of the money, make it more valuable. But they don't want to do that. They just gotta print more money to pay the debt that you can't fucking pay off, because every dollar you print has a debt of like $1.50 or whatever the fuck. So there's literally no way to pay off the debt. You know, you see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying, man? It's so fucking like... But then once you start seeing through this shit, once you start seeing the fact that How many people have built cars that run on water? How many people didn't know that the prohibition was actually because people were making fuel from composting their scraps, turning it into alcohol, running their cars off it, and then the people in power said, oh, this is a problem, we gotta cut that shit out. And then they brought it back, but instead of having that old world mentality of, oh yeah, it's a fuel, no, let's just drink it, it's fucking poison. Same shit with the lubricant, the engine lubricant, your fucking heart healthy seed oils. That's fucking engine lubricant. Look at what it was used for. That was from World War II, and they had such a supply of like canola oil or whatever the fuck that they were using for their engines. They go, oh shit, what do we do with it now? Let's just eat it, because it can't be that bad. And now look at how many people have heart problems, not carotid arteries, but when it's built up in your arteries. Look at how many people are overweight or like having these problems. Bruh, like, but people are too fucking, wool's pulled so far down over their eyes, their whole fucking body is in the toque like a sleeping bag, you know what I mean? They're cocooned in their own fucking, the wool over their eyes, you know what I mean? And it's literally the fucking Matrix, where people are just in their pods, living their life, but all their life and their energy is being sucked out of them, and they don't even realize because they're so enslaved to it, man. That being said, cheers. Like, yeah, don't hate the player, hate the game, but, sorry, stuff outside. The game is kind of redundant, or it gets kind of, like, annoying to play, it gets kind of shit to play, when everybody else is holding all the fucking money, building the hotels, whatever. You don't even have a property, you're just going off your fucking 200 every time you pass go. That's your monthly check, right? And then there it all goes to rent. Bro, Monopoly, like, there's some shit that's just like, they're basically making fun of us with that shit. How many iterations of Monopoly have they had? Every different version you can think of, Simpsons, Flintstones, dinosaurs, whatever the fuck you want. They probably made a Rule 34 Monopoly, bro. Anything you can think of is there. If y'all don't know Rule 34, that applies to porn. And anything you can think of, there's probably porn of it. Actually, Rule 34 states it's like Rule 34 of the internet. I don't know what the fucking other rules are, but, you know, been hearing that since, like, early 2000s, you know, since the 2000s, whatever. But yeah, man, it just feels like once you break out of that cage you put yourself in, then you realize the cage you're on this planet. You know what I mean? And it's like, sure, you can talk about going to Mars and whatever. I had a teacher ask us about that in class when it was Rona, and I was going through doing grade 13. I only had 2 credits to get. Yeah, it was 2. Because I had one class, I got it, and then the other one. But the teacher was asking us, like, oh, what do y'all think about colonizing Mars? And I said, oh, it's pretty obvious that, like, all the richest people would move there once it's, like, established, and just leave the people on Earth, like, with the scraps, you know? Like, it's not, I feel like it's not hard to see. It's like, bro, all this shit they're doing, who does it benefit? I seen that the UN made an article on their fucking website, let's see if I can pull it up right now, that said the benefits of world hunger, I'm pretty sure, because they would make money off it. Actually, oh yeah, and I'll show y'all this. I seen this working at the gas station through high school. I don't know how the fuck it happened. It just fucking flew over. I seen it land, I wanted to catch it, and then before I knew it, she gone. So yeah, that's pretty sick. What is it? So if I go all, Google wants to have my location. Sure. So what was I looking? UN article about benefits of hunger. Could have been a faked article, but yeah, the benefits of world hunger. UN blurs the lines between satire and reality. And you can find it. Obviously, Google isn't the most reliable source anymore because whatever, like, because they can just change the yeah, and the first website that pops up is communist.red. Sick. But it says positive value. The article begins by stating that hunger has a great positive value to many people and is fundamental to working of the world's economy. The working of the world's economy. But it's like, really? So they don't want to solve our problems because they make money off us? Similar to the states and their medical system? Similar to taxes? Similar to all this shit? You know what I mean? Like, bro, they don't want to solve climate change. They just want to impose more tax to make more money off the average Joe that already is getting fucked. You know what I mean? It's like... But again, once you wake up to like, oh yeah, society is all constructs that we like put in place and we made all these rules for ourselves, whatever. Once you get out of that box, then you go like, okay, well, who the fuck is making all these, like, maybe not making the rules because that's kind of like universally accepted within the people in the society, whatever the fuck. But you look at like, why do people perpetuate this system that no one seems to like? Well, there are some people who enjoy it at the top. Like, capitalism and communism, in my mind, are very similar, and honestly too similar for it to be fucking, like... Because think about what happens with, oh, we'll take the taxes, we'll take all your money, you put it in banks, you give it to the government, we'll take care of the problems, we'll redistribute whatever. But then just like Reaganomics, oh, it'll trickle down, and then you see all the money go up, and then it stays there. It doesn't come down, man. These company owners might put the money into the businesses because they know that it'll make them more money, but it's one of these, man. Like, sure, it's like a big raindrop. It's like, yeah, it comes down, but it just goes right back up to the top. Like, sure, the people at the bottom might see it for a little bit there, but as soon as it comes in, sorry, I'm looking at myself in a reflection, so I'm doing the opposite. But as soon as it comes in, there it goes out, paying the rent, paying for bills, paying whatever. Bro, people are fucking slaves to the wage, man. They're slaves to the fucking money. And it's like... I don't know, man. The fact that I see it, it's like, yeah, I want it to change. I want to be part of the solution. Part of, like, these positive changes and helping, like... trying to better it for the future. I think of the French word every time, améliorer, trying to make it better for the future. But it's like, does nobody else want this? Is nobody else on the same thought track? Does nobody else want generational wealth for their fucking people? Like, man, and just thinking about, like Tesla literally had a way of getting free energy from the atmosphere and transmitting it without wires, because if you look up a Tesla coil or whatever, you can hold the light bulb over here, the coil's, like, let's say my microphone is a coil, you can hold a light bulb over here, that shit's gonna light up, and you can put your hand in between and it doesn't fucking shock you, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man, it's... Not to mention the fact that we are, like... humans have their own electromagnetic frequencies, right? Similar to the Earth. That's why we have the chakras, and that's why we have, like, there was something, it's not like a compass thing, but it's something that, like, connects us to the Earth similarly, like, through our electromagnetic waves. But then, like, shit like the phones, shit like 5G and all these satellites and all the Wi-Fi, the routers, all the electronics, like, what is that doing to our mental shit, what is that doing to our bodies on like a molecular level? You know what I mean? It's not. It shouldn't just be taken lightly, because it's like, bro, your body's a temple. So if people are trying to attack your fucking temple, are you just gonna let it be destroyed? Or are you gonna try and defend that shit? But I guess it doesn't matter now, because like we seen with the, you know, the conquistadors and all the fucking, what's it, the people who come over and invade, the conquerors, whatever you want to call them, the, I'm thinking of capitalism. Who's the guy that came over and discovered America? The Nina Maria and the Pinta, the Maria and the San, what the, I don't even know where I'm going with it, but the guy that like rediscovered America, trying to find India, and then he saw the natives and said, oh yeah, this is it, this is the one, this is the place. Fuck, I forget his name now. But like, as we've seen from them, it's like, yeah, even if you try to defend that shit, they just kill you off and rewrite history. Like, bro, brother, that shit's crazy. I might have to cut this shit a little short. What are we at, 20 minutes? I'll run it a little bit longer, but just like, I'm kind of getting to most of the main points that I wanted to. It's just, it's sad that people don't want to wake up for themselves. They don't want to like think about shit on a deeper level, and like, this shit happens to me without even trying now, because I look at something and I go, an ad on TV, who made that product, who's putting the money for the ad, what's in the product that they're trying to push to us, you know what I mean? Like, man, even just thinking about like Coca-Cola, man, if you drink that shit, stop. Like, I seen videos of that shit cleaning metal. It's a rust remover, basically. And y'all want to put that in your body? Along with how much sugar, like, it's so acidic, and then along with how much sugar, the caffeine, it's not fucking worth it, man. Like, sugar and caffeine are more addictive drugs, or just as addictive, if not more addictive, than the hard drugs that are out there. But they want to make the hard drugs illegal? Why the fuck is that? Why are psychedelics, excuse me, pardon me, why are psychedelics still like Schedule 1 in the States, or like super prohibited unless it's for research purposes only? But sugar and caffeine, oh yeah, go ahead, feed it to your kids, man. Like, would you give your kids crack? Would you give them heroin, meth? I don't think so. I wouldn't do that if I had kids. I don't have kids, but like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, I'm 22. Only 22 a young, and I still see the world gross like guts. I know that. That's some shit they never touched. Try cleaning up the kill for some grub. God damn, man. Like, bars right there. Let me, yeah, that song is called Only 22, and that's probably gonna be on the, I'm making a jazz EP. I'm trying to get some singles going, but it's kind of hard to, I need to reorganize shit, because like, right now I have it all like up in my brain. I gotta put it down on paper, like reorganize the files in my computer to make it work better, so I know where everything is, because I did a whole lot of recording, and now I edited the tracks, and now I gotta figure out where they're going, when they're getting released, and all that, right? But yeah, you know, I don't know, sometimes I feel like a broken record, because this is the kind of stuff I want to be talking about. This is like the shit that really pissed me off in the world that I see all the time, but it's so hard to like justify any conversation about it, because people will say like, oh, wherever you give your time or whatever, where your time goes, what is it, where your attention goes, energy flows, or something. I think that's it. Where your attention goes, energy flows. So if I'm giving attention to the people in power that are fucking enslaving us with the money and all that, then I'm giving them more power. Honestly, I think in this case it's a reverse, because if you're being ignorant or you don't want to see the world how it is, I feel like that gives them a lot more power because that's what they want. That they want people to be asleep. They don't want people seeing Oz behind the curtain. You know what I mean? It's all smoke and mirrors and fucking curtains. So let's pull that shit back. Who's sitting back there? Who's funding the government? Who's lobbying all these politicians and all that shit? You know what I mean? It's just cheeses me, man. Absolutely cheeses me. But I guess I'll leave it there for now. I do want to do more podcasting again because I feel like it helps me get shit off my mental. It's kind of like therapy for myself. I was trying to go to therapy and I didn't go to the appointment because ironically I got too much anxiety from just standing at the bus stop and just being around all these other people, so that's great. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm getting a bit of cabin fever. Not necessarily, Stockholm Syndrome is where you, like, empathize with your captors. But I feel like there's another one that I've been feeling lately where it's like, yeah, I don't know how much of it is really me and how much of it is, like, my mind changing because of my environment, because I've been in the apartment for a decent amount of time now. I haven't been working. Hard to find work, but also I don't really want to go into any other industry other than, like, cannabis or, like, trades, factory, construction work, but then that shit's a whole nother can of worms. And just like the amount of ads I've looked at that said I need a G2 or a full G license and a working vehicle is like, brother, I'm 22. I had the money back in the day in high school, but my parents told me not to because it was gonna cost too much. But it's like, you gotta spend money to make money, man. I would rather have had a beater car, put money into fixing it up and do whatever, and had the opportunity to make a higher wage, work more hours, whatever the fuck, have more opportunity, rather than, like, I got my legs, my skateboard, and a bike. I can't really leave town on any of those, you know what I mean? If I wanted to, I could Terry Fox that shit, but, like, how much time does that take? How much energy does that take? Because I was trying to walk to the factory job I had. It was a fucking hour. Said an hour 15 on Google. I'm like, nah, fuck it. I'll do it in an hour, right? Obviously, hustling takes a lot of time and energy, and by the time I get there, I'm already fucking gassed. And now I gotta work 8 hours on top of that. Fuck no, man. People are waking up later than I am just to hop in their ride, and then they're getting their sipping their coffee, being like, okay, let's start the day. Like, man, I've been up for 3 fucking hours already, basically, like. So that's why I say my time is worth more than other people's, because how much fucking work I gotta put into doing this shit. It's like, I'm still getting it done. I don't have the money or the resources like other people do, but we're getting shit done. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll quit my bitching now. Gotta get ready to go do the chores, like I said, go out for some food. Got some coupons for Harvey's, you know, fast food. Gotta love it. But yeah, it's an easy meal, so once in a while, what the fuck, you know? But I appreciate y'all. If you do watch, haven't had many views, but that's not really the point. I appreciate y'all if you watch and you spend your time and you actually, like, find value in this, or you relate, because that's all I'm trying to do, right? I guess entertain in a certain sense, but I'm also trying to teach. I'm trying to, like, gift people the shit that I've learned and the knowledge, the insights that I have. I'm not necessarily trying to be like, oh, you have to think this way or you have to change, but it's like, I think this shit's worth paying attention to. I'll let you decide if you want to pay attention to it, but, you know, if there are other people that pay attention and they hear what I'm talking about, or they see the things that I see and they relate, drop a comment, let me know, repost the videos, just like, I don't know, the world feels small when you see the shit that people don't want to look at, you know what I mean? But yeah, I love y'all. Thank you for coming back, even though it's been a while. I did the guest episodes. If you didn't check those out, make sure to go back and watch those. I appreciate Jay, Jazz, and Shaq, all the homies that pulled up to do this with me, and hopefully I can talk to them again soon, because, you know, it means a lot to have people even be like, yeah, I'll do the podcast with you. It's just, I try not to put the burden on people, you know what I mean? But yeah, we'll leave it. I'll leave it there for now. Maybe I'll record another one tomorrow, or we'll see what happens. But I love you. Stay safe. Good luck. Eat.